Hey, I'm Jake, and today we're going to do a practice to attune to your breath and your body and to how you feel. Come onto your mat and start in child's pose, knees wide. Big toes touch, hips set back, and stretch your arms out and flat on the floor. Relax your forehead on the floor, your forearms on the floor. Take a deep breath in and a long breath out your mouth. And twice more like that. Deep breath in. And a complete breath out. And once more. Relax your jaw. Let your lips softly come to touch. Engage your yoga breath. So deep breaths in and out through your nose. With your next inhale, come forward for tabletop. Line yourself up, wrists straight across and under your shoulders, knees under your hips, and inhale, arch your back, look forward, and exhale, round your spine. Look towards your navel. A couple times like that. Just literally tuning into your breath, attuning with your breath, and syncing it up with your movement. And with your next inhale, find a neutral spine and pelvis. Tuck your toes under. Step back for a down dog. Okay, down dog, bring your feet together. Bend both knees deeply. Swing your knees to the left. Heels to the right. And flatten your hands. Lift your left hip up high. Little twisted dog. And second side, bend your knees, swivel your knees right, heels left, arms straight, tip your right hip up, broaden the right side of your body. Come back to center, come forward for plank. Legs strong as you lower for low plank. Okay, hips to the floor for Cobra, point your feet. Inhale, slide forward, chest forward, shoulders set back. Exhale. Down dog, tuck your toes, lift your hips up and back. Okay, it's enough bend in your knees to get your low back to lift. Little arch in the low back. Inhale, come to the balls of your feet. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward, and step or walk to the top of your mat. Feet hips width apart, feet straight. Bend your knees enough to touch. Inhale, lift halfway up, legs straight. Hands to the floor to your shins. Exhale, bow in, touch the floor. Inhale, arms overhead, come up to stand. And exhale, arms in at your side. Okay, big breath in, reach your arms up, palms touch at the top. Exhale, hand shower down your center, bow forward, touch the floor. Okay, weight in your right foot, step your left foot back for lunge. Okay, bend your front knee over your ankle. Back foot's vertical. Power up the back leg, come out of your fingertips, gaze slightly forward of your mat. And step forward. Switch sides, weight in the left foot, step your right foot way back for lunge. Okay, bend your left knee over your ankle, back foot's vertical. Big breath in, tilt your gaze slightly forward of your mat. Exhale, stretch out through your feet. Okay, step back. Down dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, lower for low plank. Inhale, Cobra. Exhale, down dog. Tuck your toes, stretch it back. Inhale, step your right foot around your right hand for a low lunge. Turn your right foot 15 degrees to the right. Widen your right knee to point the same direction as your foot. And you could give it a few breaths so far as your right knee doesn't buckle in. You can bend your elbows and settle in onto your forearms. You either point or flex the back foot, okay, wherever feels better on your knee. But you drag your back knee forward on the floor just enough to feel a little lift in your left upper thigh. That'll help scissor square your front hip back. Right heel heavy, right hip back. Okay, come on up. Slide your right foot towards the center of your mat for half split. Slide your right foot forward to straighten your right leg out. Right toes point up, right knee points straight up. Long enough in your stance that your left hip is slightly, or your left knee is slightly behind your left hip. So your hip flexor gets an opening. So a little twist to the right, hands on either side of your right shin as you bow. Okay, hands to the inside of your right heel, slide it back. Down dog, stretch it out. Second side, inhale, left foot steps to the outside of your left hand. For low lunge, lower your back knee super gently. Turn your left foot 15 degrees left. Point your left kneecap to point over your second and third toe. And give it a couple breaths for your hips to open so far as that left knee stays aligned. And come onto your forearms. Scissor square your hips. Okay, come on up. Wiggle your left foot to the right. And straighten your left leg out for half split. Okay, left toes point up. Make sure the second toe of your left foot points straight up, even with the center of your left kneecap, even with the center of your left hip crest. Hands to either side of your left shin to the floor of the blocks. If you don't have blocks, it's okay to bend your knee to touch. Just keep your left toes flicked up. Deep breath here. Okay, hands to the inside of your left foot, step it back. Down dog. Inhale, step your right foot forward. Warrior two. Anchor your left heel. Come on up. For side angle, right forearm to your right thigh, left arm by your ear. Turn your chest towards the ceiling, hips square towards the wall to your left. So much as you could keep that alignment. Right hand to the outside of your right foot to the floor or block. Widen your right knee against your arm. Turn your chest open. Okay, hands to the floor, step back. Down dog. Okay, second side, inhale, step your left foot forward, warrior two. And side angle pose, left forearm to your left thigh, right arm by your ear. Square your chest and hips to the right. So far as you could keep that alignment, you could reach down for the full pose. Left hand to the outside of your left foot to the floor area block. Okay, hands to the mat, step back, down dog. Okay. Right knee forward. For pigeon pose, right knee wide all the way to the right edge of your mat. Square your hips, come onto your forearms. Allow your hips to sit back and heavy towards the floor. And reach your right hand back for your left foot, for a thigh stretch. Get tall if you need, as tall as you need to reach that foot. You can also use a strap or a towel to reach the foot. If you can't quite reach it, let it go completely. And gently release. Step back and switch sides. Left knee wide for pigeon. Square your hips, come onto your forearms. Allow your hips to sit back and towards the floor. And reach your left hand back for your right foot for a twisted thigh stretch. And hold either side of your foot. Just draw your right heel towards your right outer hip. Watch it doesn't swing in or out. Engage your right foot as you thigh stretch. Okay, gently release, step back, down dog. Okay, lower both knees to the mat for hero's pose. Virasana, knees hips width apart, feet outer hips width apart. Take your hands to the widest part of your calf muscles, smush them, bifurcate them, push them off to the side. Okay, you sit on a block or two. If you could touch the floor behind you, you could remove your blocks. Okay, doesn't mean you're gonna go any deeper. Okay, in fact, you probably won't for a while, it takes time. Okay, but remove the blocks if you touch the floor. Your hips could suspend from the floor. If you're coming back to Supta Virasana, so far as your thighs stay parallel with one another, knees on the floor, you can come onto your forearms, eventually all the way down to the floor. It's okay if there's a little play in the knees, so far as your thighs stay parallel with one another. Front ribs down, chin perpendicular with the floor, upper thighs down. Eventually hips settle towards the floor and then they rest on the floor. And come on up. The forearms in your hands and down dog. Place your hand, stretch it out. And dog. Okay, right foot forward for pyramid pose. Pyramid. Take a short enough stance. Both heels are grounded. Square your hips to the front. Fold over your right leg. Should feel good to straighten out your legs. Stretch your legs after a deep flexion in your knee from Virasana. So a little twist to the right as you bow. Okay, step forward. Bow at the top. Feel the difference between sides. Okay, second side. Weight in the left foot. Right foot back for pyramid. Hips square, bow over your left leg. It's okay if you have to use the props or bend your knee to touch. You're actively stretching your legs as you fold. And step forward and bow, top of your mat. And bend both knees deeply, sit down, lie on your back. Bend your knees, place your feet. For a bridge, root your feet down, lift your hips up, lift your low back up. You can either clasp your hands underneath you or arms alongside you. Palms face up, whichever gives you leverage to get your shoulders underneath you. And lower your hips down gently, hands against your thighs. Take a breath. Okay, arms out like cactus arms, palms face up. Feet as wide as your mat, both knees windshield wiper right. Rest your right foot across your left thigh. Look left, root your left shoulder down. Back to center. Second side, both knees windshield wiper left. And rest your left foot across your right thigh. Look right, root your right shoulder down. And bring it back to center for happy baby. Bend your knees, hold your shins. Either hold it still or rock and roll, whichever feels better, on your back. And rock it up to sit, please. And stretch your legs out wide. Feet point up, knees point up. And you're gonna take your left hand in front of your pelvis on the floor, right hand behind you. Lean back into your left hip. Left leg straight, both legs straight, but really focusing on this left leg. Turn your chest over the right leg, and hands can walk down either side of your right leg on the floor. So far as you can keep this left leg heavy, left hip heavy, use your hands to push that left leg down, you'll walk it down. Eventually left hand to right foot or thigh or shin, whatever you can get. Push that left hip down especially, twist right and fold. Okay, come on up. Second side, right hand in front of you, left hand behind you, lean back, sit up. Weight in this right hip, right leg roots. Turn over that left leg. You walk your hands down either side of your left leg. Push your weight heavy in that right leg and hip. And so much as you can keep that, you can reach your right hand for the left foot, shin or thigh, and fold. Okay, come back to center, bow down the middle. Okay, if your knees lift up, if your back rounds, hands behind you and root your legs down as straight as they'll go. And hope this has helped you attune and go about your day a little bit more easefully. My name's Jake. Appreciate you being here. To see you again soon. Namaste.